Hope I didn't break my little visor thing from my phone. I usually use this for like if I'm out of town, I got a GPS on or whatever, and I just want to see something. But yeah, hey, just went and got a fresh cut by one of the guys, and I want to do a quick story. You were like, DP, why are you telling all these stories? What's that got to do with tech? It was part of the journey. And at first I wasn't really going to do it. I was just going to basically just say, well, look, this is just the tech and this is how you get in. But it's important. It's important for my story. It's important for me to tell how I got here and the people that was involved in my thought process on how I got here, on part of my journey, on how I became in tech and how I became, getting into the grind and the workforce and the hustle and bustle and the things of that nature. So I think what I might start doing is going into some of these stories and start going to the places where I remember these stories were happening. So I'm not there yet. The next couple ones I might start doing them in Minneapolis or whatnot. But I want to tell y'all, this might be a part one. I might do a part two to this. But I wanna do a story on my homie Stakk Doe, because he's really into the digital stuff. So I want y'all to check out his site at www.twinstowns.com. So that's twins with a Z. Twins and then towns with a Z. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. I met Stakk Doe in high school. That's how far we go back. He was a real hustler. I met Stakk Doe in high school. When I met him, it was like in the 9th grade. Okay. He had a low cut Jerry curl. Like, it wasn't like the Soul Glow from Coming to America, but he had the low cut Jerry curl and some red shoestrings in his shoes. Okay. And when I first met him, I didn't really know him like that, but we used to get on each other a lot in high school. I mean, we used to really get on each other, but I didn't know him like that. But I wanted to get on that Jerry curl so bad. And it was real low. It was like real, it was like one of the ones where like, okay, he's really paying an ode to the culture. But that's how I met a lot of the friends and a lot of the people that I deal with, like especially like the Circle of Five and some of the successful folks around me that I know. A lot of them I met in high school. Some people I met later, but they met them in high school, or there were people that I met just kind of just going on about, like in the street, whatever the case may be, out and about. And I was always into wanting to produce records and get into music and stuff. So remember I told y'all I used to go to the studios in like my first book. Well, Stakk Doe used to go to the studio with me at IPR. I talked about that a little bit. He was really into selling shoes. He was into car connoisseuring and selling shoes and stuff like that. So I had the mixtapes, and eventually I started getting into computer repair. I had the mixtapes, and he used to sell out the trunk of his car. And I'm talking about when it comes to selling, I hope nobody call me right now because it's going to mess up the video. When he used to sell stuff out of his car, I'm talking about some bona fide hustling stuff. He had like the Frank Lucas plug out of Asia or somewhere. He had all the exclusives. While everybody was selling them little knockoff J's, bro had all the exclusives that nobody else ain't have on Lake Street or none of that. And I used to have the mixtapes. Sometimes I'd have my t-shirts and stuff like that. So he was really, really advanced when it came to selling that kind of merchandise. That's why I told y'all to check out his site. And I'll say it again at the end of the video. But yeah, man, Stakk Doe took the digital game by storm. He was one of the few people I knew that had sportswear. And this was at an early stage on eBay, actually going through, cutting the middleman out and getting a pipeline where he could sell a lot of his products straight out the trunk on some independent nook and cranny distribution type stuff. But I want to tell y'all, and this gets into sales. So I'm going to tell you how cold a salesman he was doing. This dude had an old school. It was a shop that I used to use to work on my old school and stuff. He goes into the shop. Now, this shop was in Columbia Heights. It's defunct now, so I could talk about what it was. I think it was not Car X. It was it was like on 40-something in Central. So I tell him, hey man, go bring your old school over here. They'll get you right. Dude start talking about, well, how deep is your pockets? He starts kind of counting bro's pockets like, oh, it's how deep is your pockets? It's gonna cost this much and it's gonna cost all that and all this. Man, he brought his old school up there. The point was to pay for a diagnostic fee. He brought his old school up there, and the next day, when he was supposed to, after he pays for the diagnostic fee, the white guy was gonna be like, oh, well, man, Stakk Doe, man, he got this old school. I think it was a Chevy, it was a Caprice, or no, it was like a Monte Carlo. It was something. I can't remember. It was something that was highly favored. But it would have costed a lot to fix. So he's thinking, well, yeah, he's going to come out of pocket maybe $3,000-$4,000 and he's going to fix all this and fix all that. Man, this dude pulls up. There's a guy that came into the shop and says, oh, this the car? This the car? Oh, yeah, I'll take it. So now the mechanic's looking like, you ain't getting your car fixed? Stakk Doe had a buyer. Stakk Doe had somebody that was going to buy the car. And the dude pulled up with a tow truck, paid Stakk Doe the money, and then turned around and he gave him the $100 diagnostic fee. You should have seen, dude must have had the Acme Warehouse cartoon classic. He must have had the Animaniacs frown. I ain't never seen nobody do nothing like that before. Dude thought that he was really gonna get $4,000. I said, yeah, we gotta give him a moniker. I said, yeah, we calling him Stakk Doe from now on. Dude, you should have seen dude's face. Dude couldn't believe it. He calls me up, man, what's up with your guy? I said, what happened? He said, I thought I was gonna fix on his car and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, what happened? He said, man, he sold a car, right? He sold a car right under the cause you know how they lift the car up and they got it up in the air. He sold the car while they were bringing the thing down. He said, man, he sold the car, and I didn't even get to fix it. I said, did he pay for the diagnostic fee? I had to stop myself from laughing. I said, well, he got a diagnostic fee. He said, man, he really thought he had him too. He really thought he had him. But no, that's the kind of hustling spirit, man, that I used to see a lot of my guys. And that kind of helped sharpen me up on how, and it's not so much as being manipulative or whatever like that, but man, you got to get the best deal. These mechanics, I'm telling you, they'll overprice everything. They will overprice everything on you. And we used to have a lot of problems with that. Being in our early 20s, we bring our cars and our old schools to people in Minneapolis. We knew to stay off Lake Street. That was a no-go. We learned that early. We would have to go out to places like Arden Hills or Wade and Richfield somewhere or something like that. You don't do nothing off of Lake Street. But yeah, man, shout out to Stakk Doe. That's a funny story. Now he does the authentic. Remember them old throwbacks and the authentic jerseys and stuff? Man, make sure y'all go to www.twinstowns.com. So that's TWINZ and TOWNZ.com. And y'all can get some authentic stuff that they ain't got. Don't mess around with none of that knockoff stuff on eBay or whatever. He got the authentic jerseys and all the throwbacks. I'm not a sports dude, but when I seen some of this stuff, I said, man, I'm gonna have to order me some. So yeah, that's my story on Stakk Doe. When you wanna, and see, this dude, he can ship anywhere. It ain't got to be nowhere specific. And that's some more game for y'all getting this digital distribution thing going. You don't have to have an actual store nowadays. You can have an online store. It's an online store, and and then he can get his stuff out his warehouse or whatever, and but yeah, I'm telling you, use the internet to your advantage. That's my Stakk Doe story as far as the Dolby Digital. Make sure y'all go follow that site. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'm gonna make some more videos. We'll probably do another one in terms of IPR. We'll do another Stakk Doe story. We'll do that. So I'll see y'all later. All right.